Today's guest has one of those stories that reads like a film script. Born in Naples, Italy, he originally dreamed of becoming a professional footballer until injury forced him to completely rethink his path. Instead of giving up, he pivoted into business at just 18 years old, building a jewelry franchise that generated millions in revenue before turning his attention to real estate. Now, fast forward a few years, and he is a luxury real estate broker and investor based in Miami, the CEO of Luxury Wealth Group, and the author of the book, Healthy, Rich and Happy, which I'm currently reading now. Along the way, he's completed hundreds of property transactions and worked across markets from Italy to Dubai and now the United States. And he's built a philosophy that combines business, mindset, and personal well-being. So today we're talking about entrepreneurship, real estate investing, resilience, and what it really means to build a life that's not just profitable, but meaningful. Please welcome to the show, Dr. Jacopo Iasiello. Good morning, Doctor.
Thank you to invite me. I'm really happy to have this conversation with you and to add the value to your audience and try to bring light in the world and concrete idea.
Me too. And I think that you do that. And already reading your book, there's so much that comes along where I can cross over and really understand where you're coming from. And I think that's going to be great benefit to our listeners today. So I'm just going to kick us straight off. Please tell us where you grew up.
Yeah, first of all, my home is my city where I come in from, Napoli, where everybody loves soccer and we have this in common. We love soccer.
Yeah.
Like you guys. And, my dream is starting from becoming professional soccer, leave my house, loving house with two beautiful parents, grandfather, at 14 years old to try to achieve my goal. And from 14 years old to 17 years and a half, I play in different team professionally, knowing my city, Napoli. I live. From really young age, I starting to disconnect from my family in the way where, I am already in my own path. But, 17 years and a half, something happening where after I understand why, and I have this big injury, I'm really near to becoming professional. And what's happening, I have this big injury where everything changed in my path of my life. But thanks God, I come back to Napoli where I have these two beautiful parent, and my mother told me, don't worry, you will succeed whatever happening in your life. Think about I'm really from really young. I started to read really 11 years old story of people. They create a different kind of life, no normal life, no 9-to-5 job, something like this. My people, they achieve unique success. I'm really enthusiastic to understand why this kind of people, they achieve some kind of success, not only in business, but too in the 12 aspects of their life. And from over there, I understand I want to becoming a businessman, an entrepreneur, don't have experience, don't have knowledge, nothing. And I decide to go in the jewelry space. Why? Gems, and I am gemologic, is something like one word where you possibly lose your mind when you see with the text, the diamond or the emerald or whatever is the case. From over there, started to one aspect every entrepreneur they need to have. Learn, first of all, research. After I grow up my knowledge. Third, I do action. And fourth, I do contribution. From over there, starting my first shop, closed the shop after 8 months with money given me from government from Italy. And I closed the shop. And I tell my father, please, I believe in this dream. Give me 8,000 euro. I will change the location of the shop. I know I will succeed. And from over there, my father believe in me, give me this 8,000 euro. After I lose, I am under the bank account almost 100K. For 18 years old is not the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. And from over there, I started to open the first shop and create this chain of jewelry and buy gold shop where, I make multi-millionaire success in Italy. And at 21, starting the real estate. And from over there, started this other beautiful journey in different countries.
What did money mean growing up in your house?
Honestly, I grew up with something so strange. My family is a middle-class family. What this means, my mother is teaching, my father is an engineer. They give me a lot of love, a lot of rules. But at the same time, money in my family is something not really, I don't want to tell important, but they see like second aspect. But what's happening when I grow up, I started to feel uncomfortable because first of all, my first part of my life, I live with the people in the soccer, you know better than me, the majority is people, they coming from different situation where don't have the majority money and they want to succeed because they want a better life. And this first part, I don't recognize this aspect on my family. But when I'm moving and I connect to rich people, to people where the last year of my superior school, I go to one school where other people, they have money, I started to recognize why I don't have this, I want. And I becoming, I generate in me, at that time, anger. The anger have two possibilities: or create and bring you down, or to go after what you want. And this is what's happening for me, with the capacity that I want more, I want better quality of life, better achieve, obtain money, not only for me, but to generate, to give emotion to the people near me.
You're obviously very proactive and not a scared person in any way. You like a bit of risk. Was there anything that shaped your early childhood experiences in the way that you see risk now?
Yes, I understand something. We have only one life, and the most important part in our life is to think. Don't have regret and try to do the most big thing you possible do in your life, because it's not only for you, but your capacity to create will impact other human beings. This is what I believe now. Now I'm 41, I try to go after something bigger in my life, to connect with really unique human being where their knowledge possible pass through me, and through me I give back to the society, to the world, to the other young generation, because this is what I believe. I believe that you have clear purpose in our life, because without purpose we don't have direction, and we don't have quality of life.
Who helped you shape this ambition?
Yeah, what's happening is this one, when you don't have nobody near you, and explain what this means. I have a beautiful father. My father is my hero. My father is somebody help me in everything. My father is somebody starting the journey with me to technically paint the shop inside, my first jewelry shop. He everything for me. But normally to go at the next level, you need to have people, they have a better mindset, better understanding of the business, because I create, the business. And what's happening when I don't have a mentor, I read a lot of book to understand the mentality, because book give you idea, give you capacity to understand why this kind of person create this kind of life. And after, during my path, every time I utilize my mind in the way, okay, how I possible add the value to somebody, have better capacity. And when I started to think about, I create the connection and explain. For example, I take my PhD in Italy in international business management. And what's happening, I create one with the professor. I tell, hey, I want to interview the most successful entrepreneur in Italy to understand how they achieve success. This is I talking about many years ago. For example, give me the possibility to connect with one my now becoming my best friend, where he becoming a billionaire. And like life is like this, when you think about, and some kind of people during my path, like this guy, shape the mindset, idea how I need to go, where I need to do, and help me to open and stretch my mind, and go after bigger dream. Now I have a bigger dream. When I starting 18, I think about, let me take, my dream is have like create have like enough money to this that. Now is different.
I understand completely. And I think the importance of having a mentor, someone outside yourself to keep you focused, is invaluable as an entrepreneur. You need someone else to push you.
Uh-huh.
Tell us a little bit more about what you're building now.
Now, like, first of all, I am part of Forbes Italy. What this means, I have this editorial in Italy called American Now. What I do, how you see in my back over here,
Sure, I can see the Forbes.
yeah, I interview, different unique human being in life, billionaire and multimillionaire. And why I tell this? My big now dream is like create something where other people they will be impacted. And we will have in 2026 in Italy one event where we create this event with people that have unique characteristic, billionaire, multimillionaire from America, to have the possibility to impact entrepreneur in Italy over here, where Italy is like 24, 30 year on back, and these people they will share not only knowledge but they will share the possibility to create business B2B. And the other thing for me is I believe now in the opportunity in real estate in United States in particular, because market change drastically and more possibility to raising capital you have and more money you have in your pocket will be unique success for the next 3-5 years. And I'm direct my attention. I am already own different multifamily and different portfolio of property. I direct my attention to this space of distressed multifamily and unique building construction luxury in Miami, where raising capital for these two aspects. This is the main reason for me, because when the creation of wealth becoming more impactful, I will help different associations where I already help over here in Miami to give back to the society.
Well, let's just talk a little bit about that, because I think for most people who want to get started in real estate or property, as we call it in England, the hardest bit always seems to be the seed capital, the money in the beginning to get themselves going. And from what you're talking about, meeting investors, did you manage to source your first investors, or did you use money from your original business? How did you help scale it?
Yeah. What's happening is this one. Think about something. When I opened my first shop and close after 7-8 months, where I sleep in the second floor of this shop, after when I reposition it, my business, because I understand the 4 aspects of business: research, growth, action, and contribution, I have impactful success and I started to make money. Now, when I starting real estate at 21 years in Italy, the market is a little bit different. First of all, auction, where I started to create my wealth, will be really less space for everybody. And second of all, at that time in Italy in particular, you need to have like a really small down payment, and the other part will contribute from the bank. I started in this way. When I starting and I realized with my first investment, 34,000 euro, something where in Italy they make maybe, the medium is 20,000 for 1 year. I realized the importance. Over there, I starting like this. And after, during my path, I bring for big project other investor during my path. I believe in something. In United States in particular, but I believe England have some similar characteristic. What is important is add the value in the relationship. I focalize every time in this. My question is how I possible add the value. Now, if you don't have money, you have 2 aspects to bring on the table: knowledge and find opportunity. If you recognize that you find these 2 aspects, you will be immediately connect with the right people, because the right people, they have the money, they want this aspect. The myth of real estate, you need the money, is in I don't believe. I believe if you don't have money, you have option in real estate, in particular in United States, to really starting with less $1 million in your bank account. Why? Because, for example, over here is so easy. If you find opportunity, you have Armani lender give you the money. You have, for the down payment, for the other part, creativity is the generation of wealth. And in real estate is possible because the most important part, find opportunity and the money follow you immediately. And the money is already over there and it's clear. It's not something magic. If you want money, find opportunity and you will find people that will lend more respect at the conventional or the normal kind of mortgage. But, you will have immediately the possibility to receive the money because they see opportunity.
I understand completely, and I think you've explained it perfectly well. In the beginning, did you start out with just borrowing the money and then doing the jobs, or were you giving away a bit of a percentage, like a joint venture? Would you say you put up all the money, I'll do all the work and we'll go 50-50?
Yeah.
Or was it you give me all the money, I'll give you 10%? How did you work it?
I starting initially, first of all, what I do is this one, United, when every time I make on the flipping, the gain, I utilize this money aside to utilize to generate cash flow. This
Sure.
means this, every time I starting to generate a big capital gain, I take the part to utilize to generate the other aspect for the cash flow. Now, the majority of the way how create a relationship with other investor is in two way, or like a initial fee where they pay to find opportunity, like where they give, a fee to find opportunity, and I do all the work, what this means, I handling all the problem until, the project is closed and the money is received. And, the majority of the time I do 50 and 50 because, they are passive investor. Or in case where I connect with other kind investor, we divide in joint venture proportionally based on what we bring on the table, the gain of the.
I've also worked with investors before, and generally speaking, everything goes really well if everyone knows the exit. Everyone knows how they're going to get their money back. That's what relaxes everyone. Have you ever come up against a major problem along your way, which I'll call an oh shit moment, where you've gone, I don't know how to get out of this? And how do you deal with those problems?
Honestly, every time I try to do investment where I have two options. The first is sell, the second is rent it out. What
Sure.
this means, not every time is a perfect combination, because if you started to do a flipping and after you moving for rent it out the property, maybe some problem in the selling aspect you have. But it's never related to make a mistake with the number. And I want to explain what this means. The market is possible change. And for this reason, you need to have, every time you do some investment in real estate, big caution. Because if you don't have a big caution and you have a small percentage, 5%, 10% of the possibility to gain, you will be rip out immediately. The market change. It's like, if you are playing, if you are in the, you do like in the stock, it's the same. Now, why I tell this? During my life, every time when I connect with the investor or partner, I want everything clear from when we started the project to the exit. Why? One experience I learned through my connection, and in the past, I create a joint venture with a really wealthy human being where something don't click anymore. And this something don't click anymore, don't go through bad situation, because we create a clear exit strategy. If X happening, you will receive top. If something happening, you will keep the property, or whatever is the case. These give you, put you in the position where wherever aspect any real estate, what's possible happening, there will be a problem with the construction if you build something new, a problem with the properties don't sell at the right price, or some kind the relationship during this path is not anymore It's not anymore enjoyable. And in this case, what you need to do, you need to understand, okay, if something happening, you have the possibility, the money to acquire the property, or I have the possibility to acquire the property, I will give you a percentage on the exit. That's it, really easy. The problem is really painful, and I see with a lot of my friends, I have beautiful conversation with a really unique investor over here in United States, really well known in the space of multifamily, where he told me a secret. The problem happening is when you don't pay attention to your investment, when other people put the money based on your face, means something. When you ask and you propose a business with somebody, is more important of your money, more important. You need to stay really 24 hours to understand if everything in the project goes through correctly. If it's not, you lose the control. And when you lose the control, there is a starting the problem.
I do know what you mean. And I think from what you said earlier and connecting people with investors and what you're building now, I also believe that there is an abundance of money in the world, but there's enough money for everyone. I also think that we live in an age where there's enough information and enough knowledge that's freely available to people. What do you think is holding the average person back from getting started?
Because life is full of fear. Yesterday, for example, I tell, I have some argument with some person working with me and, mistake. Okay. Now, what's happening at that moment, I becoming anger with the fear, how is not the good emotion to bring something beautiful in the world. Now, when people feel fear, what they do, they stay in this fear. They don't have any solution to moving from this aspect. When they started to think about why it's happening to me, why, oppure I don't have the courage to moving forward because I am afraid to lose everything. Most of big fear I feel when I becoming, where I have enough money to live, super comfortable, is to lose. Now, when I put in my mind, okay, if you lose or if you don't go bigger, you will be happy. And if your response is no, because I am not born to be a flat human being. It means flat human being. If somebody love to be a flat with regular kind of life, I'm super happy because the happiness is the most important part. But the fear is the most dangerous aspect in our life if you don't dance with the fear. If you dance with the fear every day and you're moving around with her or him, whatever is the case,
It's definitely her.
yeah, definitely her. Definitely her, correct. Everything will be possible. And if you do the action, for this reason, I wanna really put attention. Action is the way to generate. Better do action to don't do nothing. Because nothing don't create nothing. That's it. It create only, maybe a life where you feel in the comfort zone. But this comfort zone, the last day of your life, you will regret a lot of things. I'm sure 100% because I learn a lot of old people from old people, and I learn what they told me, and they told me the same story every time.
If a young person came to you today and let's just say they had £50,000 sterling, which is probably in US dollars, like 75,000 US dollars. If someone came to you and said, look, this is what I've got. Dr. Jacopo, with all your experience, what do you think I should do to grow this in the modern era? What would be your advice?
Yeah, I will do something, Now with experience and with, $65,000, I will tell you, you have, different kind of option. First option, try to learn for free because everything is free now. This is the era of information, starting to understand every aspect of what you want to do. Means if you want to starting to generate money, you have one option. And what is this option? Buy something and sell. Why? Because what's happening is this one. I see in a lot of social media, big name, they told, yes, the cash flow, the cash flow is important. But normally we need to be too realistic. When you don't have enough money, you need to generate money. And the cash flow is a long-term game, 3-5 years. Yeah, the exit will be probably is important, but it's 3 or 5 years game. Now, if you told me I define better your question. I am a young person with $75,000 job, means I
Yeah.
don't have any primary job. What I will do, I will starting to buy something and resell. And it's really possible when you have $75,000, put a down payment, go in the market where you find something with the possibility to resell the property and do the mortgage with the other part where you have the possibility to add the value to the property. I started to buy and resell the property. It's the first aspect. When you started to make money and tell, okay, I make another 35,000, another 50,000, I started to utilize this money to think about how I possible maybe be part in a bigger project of cash flow where I will see in 3-5 years X3X with this money and restarting the process to buy and sell without have the possibility to starting I have the possibility to have any some money to put the down payment or some money to buy and flip becoming more difficult. What this means will be better to put your attention in buy something and sell it initially and after utilize the money for the cash flow. And plus, if you have a young person with $75,000, you will be better respect other people. I starting to becoming a super person to find opportunity, and I started to connect with other investor more big of me and tell, hey, I have this deal. Why we don't do together? I put the down payment, you put the other part, or we join together. When you started this kind of relationship and you started to make money for them, your business starting to grow exponentially. And the last one, when you make enough money for you and you have the cash flow, is do the invest in the long term. What I believe, and this is for me go really well. When I make enough money aside, I starting to find opportunity in the zone, rare zone where people they don't see at that moment. But I started to study everything related to the area, what's happening in the permit, because in America everything is public, and I started to recognize some pattern in some area, and I started to buy land. Why? Because when you see a permit a lot of permit in the area started to build. This means in the next 3-5 years, this area will be go exponential. And I do multiple time with, really, in some cases, 7-8x of my money. But this is the final aspect, flipping cash flow and localize in the correct market. But started to invest in buy and sell something, put in the cash flow and connect with other investor and bring to them deal opportunity,
Now, these next questions, there's no right or wrong answers. These are just quick fire. So you just say what feels right in the moment. You don't have to overthink it. If you had the choice, would you rather scale fast or build slow?
Build slow.
Would you rather control everything or empower other people?
Empower every people, but control, I have my control.
What's more interesting to you, safe growth or taking a bold risk?
I believe in safe growth.
What's more important, profit or impact?
Both. I don't possibly respond to one. Both.
Why?
Because they go together. Profit means impact.
Perfect. From reading your book, which I want to touch on slightly before we move on, what do you think has been the defining characteristic that's given you this drive, this push, this ambition, and what keeps you motivated now?
First of all, be resilient, and the resilience you create. What this means, you have the resilience you create through the sport. I believe in this 100%. Without sport, you don't have the same mindset. What this means, sport give you, okay, every day I need to wake up a certain time, to do certain kind of the exercise and to push to the last rep. And this kind is not only physical, but is mentally. And the other aspect I really I believe everything happening in your life for a reason. Now you need to find a reason until your last day. If you stop at one time, people, they arrive at 50, 40, at 30, where they start, what I do in my life. I started to cry. I started to think about what they mistake they do. Unfortunately, I give all my light, all my energy, but they will never succeed in their life, because life is a process where you go down and up and down. In the moment where you are down over there is where you becoming who you succeed in the world. When I change a country, when I create this beautiful life from zero in Italy, I have different aspects. I have my business started to lose revenue in Italy, in the jewelry space. I have won my part where I create all the big company with $15 million in revenue. He took this company without my permission, in the way where I don't pay attention now. For this reason, I delegate, but I need to stay on. I need to understand what other people they do. This is no means say every day, but I need to understand the movement. And the aspect I learn is this one. During the down, for example, when I'm moving over here, I starting technically not from economic part from zero, but from relationship, from knowledge, from connection, from zero. I realized how is important in life have a clear method to utilize every day in your life to bring the energy in your day. And for this reason, I wrote this book, Healthy, Rich, and Happy, with this method, MPBE, meditation, morning, prayer, biohacking, and exercise. Because if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a business person, nobody tell you wake up at 8 in the morning. You need to wake up at 8 in the morning. You need to do what you need to do. And the last one is this one. I learn from the last 2-3 years. Be in the detail. Is in the detail where people they create on fortune. What this means, we are entrepreneur, and during our day we have multiple people they won't bring their idea, another kind of people they bring the problem. During the life, maybe you have a problem, your mother have a problem, other kind of thing happening in your life. But if you be focused and you will study the detail of what you need to do, everything will be better, everything will be exponentially bright in what you do. Because when you are multitasking is the worst everybody we do. And I try now to working really in the detail too, if I have a lot of distraction around me, but I try to, hey, this month is the month where I need to finish this project I have to bring in the world. If I don't finish, and if I bring in the world that this project, this idea is not working, let me change. Let me moving in other aspect. The problem is like we go around, we jump from one part to another part, to another part, to another part, and this is make your energy go away, and probably your ear, and probably don't focalize in what you really want.
So just behind you, I can see the book, Healthy, Rich, and Happy, which I'm working my way through now. It really is a great book, and it kind of goes into all the aspects that I try to live by, and you obviously do too. But what forced you to write it, and who is the book for?
I forced it to write it because I think so when you have something bring you light in your life, it bring you economic possibility, you need to share with other people. Why? Because when I grow up, I'm really coming, I believe in we reborn in other life, in other aspect, whatever you want. I'm Catholic, but, I have this idea where we will, our life, we will impact other people. And sometimes when something happening in our life is a big map where we don't understand why it is happening in my life. Now, because I understand in me this method MPB plus the real estate bring me my life in the direction where I never think about, at 18 years old, I want something, and I arrive at something, and now I want something. No, I want, but because I want to share. Because if I have something, I want to share with more people as possible. I don't want to be a greedy guy where I keep for myself. I want because I understand in me when I give love, money, connection, relationship, this bring me light in my heart. And this is important for me. For this reason, I realized, let me write something where this piece of my life is not my life. This piece possible bring you something good in your life. And this is the main reason.
I do know what you mean. And I think that you've been so open about the economic side and obviously the fact that you were an athlete, so we understand that. There's a little bit in your book where you touch on transcendental meditation. Now, this was quite new to me and it's something that I'm learning about through your thing. How did you get into this? Because it's quite a holistic thing for an entrepreneur and an athlete.
Yeah. Like the transcendental meditation arrived in my life in the low point where what's happening when I'm moving in Florida over here, I started to feel one emotion my grandmother told me, be alone. Okay. In my country, I have this, perfect life from zero. I create a lot of money, better quality of life, beautiful fiance, beautiful family, everything. But when you change, you understand which kind of people they are real near you. And I arrive over here and I feel this emotion of loneliness over here. And I have one my friend in my circle in Italy where he is a nice guy, an engineer, and he has this smile, this light in his life every time. And I ask him, what's happening in your life? You are every time like happy, you have this beautiful smile, your eyes is vivid. And he told me, I do this technique. From over there, I started to learn. And I realized how it's important really reconnect with yourself. And meditation is through this mantra, you repeat, and I do 2 times a day in the morning when I wake up. And when I started to go down with my energy around 3 p.m., 4 p.m., where I recharge, this one gives me two characteristics. First of all, I connect with high spirituality because I go really in the flow of my mind. And during this moment, I receive a lot of information for my business, my life, for everything. And this is bringing me to more opportunity because before I react, and an entrepreneur don't never need react. They need to stop, think about, connect, lights, understand how to solve the problem. I'm moving forward the problem. And this technique give me this capacity. When I feel stress, I need, I leave my body technically, and I go in the place where I see completely from another prospect my problem or my situation.
Where could they buy your book?
Yeah, first of all, I asked to buy this book because I believe I have really, value to the people, and I utilize the money to help one association over here in Miami called Hermano de la Calle, where I already help them. How I help them, I give some my property with less price of the value of the rent because now it's crazy over here in Miami, the rent. And what I do business because business is important. You need to make money, but at the same time help somebody. All the money I receive, I will donate to them to help people to have another time dignity. And they possible find the book in Amazon or through my website, healthyrichandhappy.com. And they possible follow me to my Jacopo Iasiello Investor Broker where, I try to give good idea or good message to people they go over there for the 12 aspect of the life: business, friend, family, love, and other aspect I really believe to have impactful life. Impactful life is what is important because when you impact other people with the word, action, and everything, you will create something beautiful in the world. And you never know when your word reach somebody.
What we'll do is we'll drop all of the links to your website and the book and all the things below so people can pick up there. Are you on social media? Could people follow you on Instagram or anything like that?
Yeah, I will love, will be something where I help to share the message, and with Jacopo Iasiello Investor Broker, my name, my last name will be, something we really appreciate.
Fantastic. Well, look, final question. When all of the plans or the blueprints, as you say in America, fade, what is it that you want to be remembered for building?
Oh, wow, this is a beautiful question. What I want to be remembered like a smart investor, entrepreneur with good heart. That's it.
I think that comes across entirely in this interview. So I really hope that people can pick up and read your book and find you as interesting as I do. So thank you so much for your time today, Doctor, and good luck in the future.
I appreciate really our conversation.
Me too. I really enjoyed it. We'll speak soon. Thank you so much.